Back with another film review, and today I'm reviewing The Mommy by Lee. This film has to be one of the most uneasy and unsettling films that I've seen in a while. Like, I constantly made this face. Like, while watching it. Because, like, there's body horror films, and there's torture porn films, and there's things of nature that gets under your skin. But I constantly felt this feeling, like something's crawling on me. So this film follows the narrative of a couple, a family rather. They lose their daughter a long time ago because someone ends up kidnapping her. And then they get a phone call one day. They say, hey, we found your daughter, but there's something off about her. Yes, it's the daughter that they knew, but she looks mummified and aged and decrepit and almost like a corpse. And this film embarks on this journey as they find out what happened to her, and that there's power in the knowing of what happened to her and the coming about of it, right? It's a slow-paced film with a revelation, but if memory serves me right, it's clocked over about 2 hours, but it does not feel like it once you're watching the film and once it gets going. Because there's just little nuggets here and there that keeps you intrigued, that lets you know, like, hey, we're still here. And the opening sequence or the opening scene hooks you right then and there. It's very homage to, I want to say, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And once you see both those films, you see exactly what I mean with the hooks. But man, it was very unnerving. And I found myself reacting a lot more to this film than I did in the past, or even just recently, because it's very rare that I feel that when I'm watching a horror film that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know what's coming, I know what's expected. But this one was very unique to the horror genre in the sense that it's a possession film, but it doesn't do the typical home evasion in the sense where you have like, like there's a female protagonist and she believes that there's something in the house, something wrong in the house, and the guy is not believing her, right? But now it flips that on his head, so it reverses the roles where you have like this guy, and then you also have like the woman in the story that she's downplaying. Now the child actress in this film, or actresses thereof, are very wholesome. I do for a second reminisce of like I could be part of this family, and they have a sense of humor. The kids aren't unbearable, very little in dialogue, but with the dialogue that they do have is very impactful, and it does pay homage to it throughout. Now I will say in the final act it does get a little chaotic, it does get a little meta, because like you're building up to a certain point, and then like where do we take it? You have to deliver, and it I wouldn't say it falls short, because I can't even think of a better way to do the final act. But it is very interesting, and then it does get in cliche, but that doesn't take away from the journey of this film to get to where we're going, and how uneasy and untethered. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the things and the visuals that I saw. It's very uneasy. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very this, but at the same time, I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. I was very attentive. I was very awake, and I think this film was one of the first body horror films, I dare say, that I've seen in IMAX. And it definitely benefited from that, from the sound design to the visual, to be able to see it in aspect ratio. This film also felt very intimate. I hate horror films that always do all these wide shots. Like, give me a sense of mystery, give me a sense of the unknown. And so, like, earlier on in the film with the introduction, you do have these close-ups, you do have these intimate shots, but it also, later in the film, it still continues with that, right? And then also you get to see, like, you see what she looks like in the trailer, but do know that that's, without giving anything away, that there's some type of adaptation over the course of the film. much like if you watch any Spider-Man film. Like yeah, he has like a clean costume in the beginning of the film, but by the end of it, it's tore up and there's all these other things. But I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I do recommend that you see it, and if you can see it, you know, depending on the time of this video, you'll definitely see it in IMAX. But do be wary that in the third act, it does get a little cliche, but it doesn't take away from the journey. Because like even though we may know how things end, it's the journey that keeps me intrigued, and this film definitely has kept me intrigued throughout. Definitely better than some of the more recent films that I've seen. And I'm glad that I've seen it. I actually seen it. I think it's close to midnight at this time, so I'll be uploading this video Friday. But have you seen The Mummy? Are you considering seeing it? What are your thoughts? Comment down below. Subscribe to the video. If you made it to the end, you might as well subscribe. And again, as always, jaritos on me. Ciao.